Hello sexy people. Right, Imperium kit number 3, premium kit. This is, it's Tau this time round. I've been wanting to get hold of this kit for a while to help me build up my, or rebuild my Tau army. Plenty of bases, etc. We've got, okay, so you do get 3 flying stones, and there's obviously plenty of other bits and pieces. So your 32mm bases here are for your battle suits, and the 25 are for our fire warriors. So let's just put that aside. Let us put the plastic to the side. And let's have a look at the magazine. So Tau Empire premium subscription. So I will have paid £39 in total for this set. I'll do a costings breakdown when I do the next collection so far video, which I've been a bit remiss about doing. So Tau Empire Firecast, information about the Tau, bonding rituals, Viola, card of Fireblade, information sheet here, so we've got our battle record for him as well. Fire Warrior Strike Team. Now I already have a strike team from a previous battle box that I purchased. So what I may do is, instead of building a strike team, I may build a breacher team. Then we have our stealth suits. So you get 3 units in this. This is what you get in. There's not that many miniatures compared to, say for example, the Tyrannid set that we got previously. But these are all miniatures. I mean, this will bring my stealth battlesuit force up to 12. This will give me 2 fire warriors teams then. I'm not fussed about our card of Fireblade. I will build this one. I don't like the mini. I'm going to turn around and say that straight off the bat. I don't like the mini. Anyway, we're into our how to build. So we got our card of Fireblade first, then our stealth team, then the drones. So we're making a, looks like we're primarily going to make a shield drone and a marker drone. But it obviously gives you the options for making gun drones as well, etc. Then we have our drone turret. Then we're coming into our fire warrior build. So it says to do the legs first, which is all well and good, that's fine. You do have more legs than you have torsos. So you're only going to be able to make 5 complete fire warriors. Sorry, 10 complete fire warriors, not 5. But you'll have legs left over. So that is what we're making. And then we're on to our paint guide. Now, I don't like this paint scheme. I prefer the desertized colour scheme. And I'll give you some examples when I do the build video. But yeah, that is that. So yeah, I prefer the desertized colour scheme. I use Andrew Dust for this, but these are my 2 of my miniatures. Obviously this is Dark Strider, and this is one of the Crisis XV8 battle suits. Right, base coats. So we're painting, as I say, I don't like this paint scheme, but there you go. It's going to give you some information on weathering as well, how to weather. So you end up with some chips, etc. on the battle plate for the towel. And then your finished gallery, your items will look like this and this. You then have your data sheets, so stealth suits, which are elites. So they have a movement of 8 inches, a weapon skill of 5+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 2, attacks 2, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. And their Chasvray has 3 attacks. Your strike team has movement of 6 inches, 5-up weapon skill, 4-up ballistic skill, strength 3 plus toughness 3, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, attacks 1, leadership 7. Now your Chasvray, or Chasui in this case, has 2 attacks and has leadership 8, and you have your support turret, which is a ballistic skill 4+, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, and a leadership of 4 and a 4-up save. And then you have your card of Fireblade, which is 6 inches movement, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 4, attacks 3, leadership 8, and a 4-up save. We're then going into drones. Now they've given us the profiles for advanced guardian drones, comlink drones, grav inhibitor drone, guardian drone, gun drones, marker drones, missile drones, pulse accelerator drone, sniper drone, and stealth drone models in this top one, and then shield drone and shielded missile drones in the bottom one. And there's no real difference between them except for our shielded drones have 2 wounds. And then we've got gun drone, marker drone, and shield drone listed there. Our mission is on holy ground. Ever seeking to expand their stellar empire, the Tau Sept of Viola have encroached upon the abandoned shrine world of Udoni in the outer edge of Nephilim sector. A small force of Adeptus Sororitas warriors prepares to meet their advance. So, mission briefing. The Adeptus Sororitas advance upon the Tau positions, seeking to seize ground before the Xenos can gather their forces overrun by foes. The Tau have installed a homing beacon to summon more allies to join the fight. The Adeptus Sororitas must destroy the beacon if they are to drive the Tau back. So, the homing beacon is just outside of the deployment zone for the Tau, and it's 7 inches away from the centre of the battlefield. There is a piece within the stealth kit set that you can use to depict the homing beacon. Now, you have the forces are the card of Fireblade, the strike team, and you will have the strike team with 9 fire warriors, 1 fire warrior Chasui, 2 drones and 1 support turret, and then you will have your stealth team with a marker drone, and the Adeptus Sororitas' Canoness, Battle Sisters 10 and Seraphim 5. So there you go, that's the magazine for the Tau. Let's bring you down. So, what should we look at first? Let's look at the card of Fireblade. Now, as I say, I don't like this. It's a 2012 sculpt. Comes with its own base. It is a nice sculpt. You know, technically it's a very nice sculpt. I just don't like the aesthetic of it. There are things about this that kind of put me off of it. One of them being that, you know, he's a bit of a chunky boy. Been on the donuts a bit like myself. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to build this fella, obviously, for the video. but I doubt I will use him. I suppose I could not put a cape on. That might help, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, that's our card of Fireblade with regards to this. And obviously he's got his bonding knife. He has his pulse rifle here with the sighting optics on it, and obviously the rest of the bits and pieces. His shoulder pad, his face looks quite good. He's got his braid, and then obviously the front and rear of his carapace armour are there. So that's the Fireblade. Let's have a look at the oldest kit in this box set, which is the Stealth Suit Team. Now these are 2005 sculpt, but I think that it's held up reasonably well. So you have your main Stealth Suit bodies, and they come in halves, and then you have your legs, and then these are all kitted out with burst cannon, but your Chasvray can have a photon blaster, I think it is. So yeah, and they're fairly interchangeable. You can do some nice poses with them, and obviously you get your marker drone. So you only get a marker drone with this kit, and that's it. But marker drones are great. I do highly recommend taking marker drones as tactical drone options, tactical drone unit options. So yeah, really nice. The kit itself still makes up and builds up. The Chasvray has a bonding knife attached to his legs. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, all good. Right, let's have a look at the Fire Warrior sprue. So you get 3 sprue parts. Hello, I've got a bit nicked out the corner of this. Wonder what that's about. Right, so as I said, you get plenty of legs, but you can only make 10 Fire Warriors out of this. Some of the things that grip me about this sprue that annoy me is the fact that although the Fire Warriors, I'm fairly certain that they have as a standard loadout pistol and pulse rifle. Let me check. Yeah, pulse pistol and pulse rifle. So although that is the option, you don't get enough pistol holsters, and that I find it's the same with the Space Marine kit and the Sisters of Battle kit. You do not get enough. So I've got 3 here, and I think that was right. You get a pulse pistol which is out of its holster, and yeah, that's it. And then there's some minimal bits here. Now the other thing that I'm looking at and I'm noticing, so I'm fairly certain in the older kit that they did, you used to get given enough pouches for photon grenades so that you could equip all of your miniatures with photon grenades. And again, looking at this kit, that's not the case. I'm not seeing the photon grenades. You know, I'm seeing lots of additional rounds here for bits and pieces, but not the photon grenades, which is really annoying. There's a photon grenade holder there, and then I think there's one attached to something here. So yeah, highly annoying. Oh, there's one there as well. So we've got what, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm disappointed. If you're going to turn around and say all your troops can, or their basic loadout is this, then please provide all of the necessary accessories in order to make that. Anyhow, this is your drone turret here. It has missile system, etc. It's got a couple of different missile systems, I think. We have our parts for our shield drones here. These are parts for the marker drones. These are the drone bodies here, parts of the marker drone, more parts for the turret. These are your standard Fire Warrior shoulder pads here, but these are the Breachers shoulder pads. Pulse carbines. These are pulse carbines. And then looking at the other ones, so these are standard Fire Warrior helmets here. These are your Breacher team helmets. These are standard Fire Warrior backpacks, but these are Breacher Fire Warrior backpacks. Obviously we've got standard torsos and the legs, etc. Now, where are we? Right, here we go. So, Breacher weapons. Now, let's just bring this in. These are the Breacher weapons. Pulse rifle, Breacher, pulse rifle, Breacher, pulse carbines. So yeah, we get plenty of options for all the different things. We even have somebody who has pulled a pistol and is shooting with a pistol. We have a bonding knife that can be attached to your Shazwi. And one thing I do like about this set is that it does offer you weapons without arms or hands attached, so that you can use them to accessorize certain things. So yeah, there's plenty packed into this sprue. It was 2014 sculpt. I do miss the fact that you don't get all the photon grenade pouches for these miniatures, and it does annoy me that they turn around and say that each of them has a pulse pistol and a rifle, but you only get 3 holstered pulse pistols. That's like so annoying. Just give us the ability to kit these out. So I may either have to try and find a way to maybe be able to cast these in resin to come up with the extras, or I'll be looking on eBay to see if people are selling these extra bits. But yeah, there you go. That is the Fire Warrior sprues and the sprues that we get with our 3rd premium gift. There is something else that I just need to point out if I can find it, and that is the Shazwi has something that you can add to his backpack, and I can't see it, annoyingly. So you add it to his backpack, which makes him stand out slightly. There it is. It's just an extra antenna vein that goes onto his backpack. So that, and you can add on the bonding knife to the backpack. So yeah, there you go. Right, join me in a few seconds and we will get to building some of this. So let's start building our tower, and we will start with the card of Fireblade. So these are his constituent parts. We'll build him up and see how we go. I'm looking at the fact that I may have to leave the cloak off. But I'm going to start with his torso. So this is the back, and that's the front and right leg, back and right arm. So pop that in place. And then the leg, which is keyed, so it will only go on one way. Now he does come with this scenic base, but there is nothing stopping you from putting him on, you know, you deciding to go with your own base, as it were. So he does have little foot imprints on the base. Don't know if you can see those. And those are where his little tootsies are going to go. That's better. Right, that's the right way around. Obviously, you don't, like I say, you don't have to have this scenic base. If you want to produce your own base, you can do. If you want to put him on a 32mm base, because the Ethereal on hover drone's got a 40, I don't think putting him up onto a 32mm base would cause too many issues. As long as you're not going too mad. Now, I'm going to drop his head in. And then we've got this, which is keyed, and it will only go in one way, so that's good. But you do need to test fit so you get it right, because how it actually looks it'll fit isn't actually how it fits. So where did I go? That was it. And then we have the honor blade, or his bonding knife, I should say, not honor blade. So yeah, just make sure that's orientated correctly. Like thus. Right, now I've got to make a decision. So the cloak will go on like so, and then the shoulder pad will orientate that way and go on. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to put the cloak on. I'm going to leave the cloak off so that I can paint it separately. But there you go, nice and simple. That's our card of Fireblade. So yeah, apologies if you can hear the neighbours outside talking loudly. But yeah, there you go. That's our card of Fireblade. Coming on to our stealth team. So first thing you're going to want to do is glue all the legs onto the bases. And obviously you only get 3 pairs of legs, so you're going to be a little bit stuck for choice. The Chasvray legs, obviously they're only in one pose, so we'll build a Chasvray today. The next thing you're going to want to do is the body, which comes in 2 halves. They're all the same on the sprue, and I would recommend just going round where the jetpack is on the back and adding in the glue. And then just give it a squeeze. I like to give it a squeeze to push out a small bead of melted plastic, which when this dries I can then trim away and get a flat surface. And then there's 2 other contact points that I glue. There's one in the socket where the body joins the legs, and then one in the face, and just make sure it's all aligned nicely. Just set that aside to dry. Once it's dry, you can go around and trim up what you need to trim, make it all nice and tidy. Get rid of any seam lines that you've created. And then it's a case of popping some glue into the socket where the body is, and then just putting it onto your legs in a position that you're happy with. Just let it dry. What I then do is pop in the chosen sensor suite on the faceplate, which are these little triangular pieces. Now, the one with that is different to the others is the one I've chosen for the Chasvray. And that is just going to go in. Try and make sure it's central, and then just leave that to dry. So whilst that's going off, you get this little item. Now this is the homing beacon that you can include in gameplay for calling in other battle suits, etc. Kind of works in the same way that the homing beacon for the Terminators works. So just glue that to the base. The other thing I'm going to make a start on is the burst cannons. So the burst cannons come in several pieces. So you get the main body with one half of the barrel, and again I just make sure that I've used enough plastic weld here to, when I push them together, it gives me a little bead that when this dries I can trim. And then you just put the front in, and it is keyed, so it will only go one way, so that in theory all your barrels will be up the right way. These barrels you can drill. So here's one that I did previously. Hopefully you can see I've used a 0.7 millimeter drill bit in these, and that's worked out fine. I wouldn't want to go any larger because your chance in destroying the end of the barrel, but you can drill them. Just use a finer drill bit. So once your gun, your burst cannons all glued together, then just obviously smooth out any lines, etc. Now the fusion blaster, your Chasvray can have a fusion blaster, and I always equip my Chasvray with the fusion blaster, and if you run a squad of 6 of these, every third model basically can have a fusion blaster. So your Chasvray can have one, and then you can give one to another team member. You don't get much variation in the weapon arm, unfortunately. They're all very similar, all pretty much the same. Yeah, there's just maybe a slight bend in, slightly wider angled bend in one of them than the other. So here we go. I'm going to use this one this time round, and I am going to pop them together. They do go, they are keyed, so when you join them together they will go like thus. So they are keyed. And just marry up the fusion blaster with that, and it's the same with the burst cannon. They marry up in exactly the same way. There's a little tab which goes into the recessed area on the forearm there. So again, just a little bit of a blob, so that when you join the two pieces together, there's glue that will help bond it by capillary action across the whole surface there. So there you go, that's basically your burst cannons. Now you can put these on any way you like. You can have them forward as if they're firing, or maybe just a little bit tipped downward as if they're at a run or something. I am going to have that one firing forward, so like that, and then I'm just going to pick an arm for the opposite side. I think I'll do that one. that's just going to go down like that, like so. So that's the pose I've got at the moment. Now this wee chappy is going to have a drone controller. So we've got two bits for that, two tiny little bits. So we've got the drone controller body and then the antenna. So that's those little bits. And it is literally, there's a recess just on the top. I don't know if you can see the recess. So dab of glue. Pop in your antenna. And there you go. And then what I recommend is popping this on first before you put the suit antenna on. And the drone controller sits on the jetpack. So goes in just there, like so. Just like that. Now, the antenna, so you get 4 of these in the kit, so you can mix and match a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just pop that towards the front of the stealth suit, about there. Just to one side. And there you go, that's that in position. And that's essentially it. That's it for building these battle suits. Because I'm running a team of 6, I've got another set which I've recently built. This one's got a target lock, so one will have a drone controller, one will have the target lock. And that's how I'm going to run them. You know, they're all very similar. They do paint up really well. I'm just in the process of painting these up. So, the thing I've not done is I'm not putting on the shoulder pads. I will paint these, I'll spray and paint these separate and then glue them on. I find it easier. But there you go, that is how you make a stealth suit. Very quickly, we do have a drone included with this, and it is a marker drone for a marker light. And this comes in more bits than the marker light drones in other kits. So we're going to just glue a piece into the sensor suite. We're then going to glue the bottom of the drone into the sensor suite, trying to make sure that it's level. We then have this antenna array which goes on the opposite side of this drone, like so. Now I find the easiest way to level these up so that they're both equal is doing it like so on a surface. Right, now here's the thing. When you get this kit, the antenna that comes with it is that shaped. However, This is quite different to standard drone antennas. And you'd normally just glue it into the top there. So what I have done is nicked an antenna from another kit. Now I actually thought I'd trimmed one up, but obviously not. So let's just get rid of the mould lines. Right, there you go. And I'm going to just pop that in the antenna mounting just there. Okay, I quite like them if at a slightly jaunty angle. You know, I'm not overly fussed that they have to be 100% angled flat back. And then what happens is you glue this into the bottom there, and then that's your marker drone, which looks like that. And then you just pick yourself a flying stand and Bob's your uncle. So yeah, that's the marker drone and obviously the other bits and pieces that go along with the stealth suit. So Fire Warriors next. Howdy. Right, back again. Let's start with the standard strike team trooper, shall we? Now, I'm going with a pair of the split legs, which is kind of like stepping forward. I would probably describe the action. And with a lot of these minis, it's very much a case of get it down on the base. Okay, so like that. Now, I'm not going to glue the torso to it yet because I'm going to glue the weapon to the torso and then glue the torso to the body so that I get the best looking orientation for these items. Right, so I'll just bring that down. So just keep checking that you're getting the kind of positioning and look that you want. And the reason I do this in this sequence is it helps me orientate these in a way that allows me to try and dynamically pose them as best as possible. So I can get the turn of the body right and put the head on once I've got the weapon in place, because the head, you know, doesn't necessarily need to follow the weapon depending on the position of it, but yeah, so that's how I'm going with that. And then your backpack. So I've put a pulse carbine on this guy. We need to obviously just make sure that we get the right backpacks, etc. So far. Now, he has, all Tau have a tiny antenna attached to their helmet. And these are a bit of a pig to get positioned, but okay, that went on quite nicely, nice and easy. So yeah, that's what he looks like so far. Now I'm going to give him a pouch and some photon grenades, and I'm going to put that on his left hip. Like so. And then, because they're supposed to have pulse pistol and their main weapon, I shall put a pulse pistol on his right hip. Right, and this brings me back to my bugbear with a lot of these infantry kits where troops are supposed to have, for example, a main weapon and then a pistol, a sidearm. There's not enough holsters with pistols in this kit to equip every fire warrior, and that really annoys me. It annoys me in the tactical squad box for the Space Marines, and it annoys me for the Sisters of Battle Battle Sisters squad box. So come on, GW, get a grip. Can we get enough pistols, etc.? I've noticed that with these Primaris Marines, they're all equipped with the relevant holsters anyway. Now, Breacher team have the Breacher rifle or Breacher carbine, which gives different characteristics depending on how far away you are from the enemy when you shoot. And I'm going to make this chap a Shazwi. And I'll show you the main difference for the Shazwi in the troop. Okay, so there we go. Right, rifles on. Let's get that on the body. And there you go. And then the head. Cool. And then I'm going to pop on the backpack. Now the backpack is different. So the backpack looks like this. Just try and note the right way up. She said, and immediately put it on the wrong way up. Right, so the little vein here goes at the top. then with the Shazwi, there's an extra antenna vane that you add to the backpack, which, from what I can tell, goes in there like so. Okay, so we've got that extra thing. Now also, if you wanted to, there is a bonding knife that comes with the kit that you can put on the Shazwi, but I'm not going to do that. What I will do is I will put, I've still got plenty of the old style Tau decals, so I will put a bonding knife decal on the shoulder pad for the Shazwi to indicate that they have undergone the bonding ritual. Antenna in place, and then again I'm going to have a pistol on his right hip. And just pop in a little bit more. Like so. And then I'm going to give him some photon grenades and a new charge pack, by the look of it, for his weapon. And that's going to go on his left hip. Just there. And that's essentially it for building these chaps. You know, I do have a second squad. I went out and bought the combat patrol, so I'll be making a full squad of pulse carbines and a full squad of breachers for my units. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. So we have a Guardian drone that comes with the kit to build, and from what I can ascertain, when you build this, this goes to the front of the Mini. So I'm going to glue this in place, so that, and that's how that looks. And then obviously you just pop it on a flying stand when you're ready. So yeah, you do get a choice of other drones, so you can have like bog standard gun drones, a marker drone, or a shield drone with these kits. So if you build one of these, you then get the option to build one more type of drone from the standard kit. There you go, that's your Tau. Okay, hopefully you'll join me in the next video. Take care, bye bye.